Hello everyone. We want to greet you and wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. You know, for me, in a certain way, Thanksgiving is probably the most important of our spiritual holidays. In a certain way, it begins what we could call our holy season. There's Thanksgiving, and then we at Ananda Village and worldwide, we have World Brotherhood Day, where we make the first offering of the season to the spread of light of Master's mission around the world. Then, of course, we have Christmas, followed by New Year's, which Master really used to help to dedicate oneself to making oneself anew, followed by Master's birthday. But coming back to Thanksgiving, the way to enter into that holy period is by opening your heart to God and giving thanks for what He has given you, and in fact giving thanks for everything that you've received. If we can get this attitude right of being grateful for everything that comes to us and thanking God consciously for it, it opens it up so that we really benefit. You'll read in a blog that I wrote recently, but I'll repeat that. A friend of ours told a story about a most memorable talk that he had ever gone to. And the talk began with a kirtan of about 15 minutes, and then a man came, the teacher came on stage and said, everything that happens to you is a blessing from the divine meant for your spiritual evolution. And he walked off stage. 15 more minutes of kirtan, the same thing was repeated. Walked off stage. Again, 15 minutes of kirtan. Again he repeated, everything is a blessing from the divine meant for your spiritual evolution. Walked off stage, and that was the end of the evening. This man has remembered that for maybe 6 or 7 decades, 60 or 70 years, that one talk, because it made such a deep impact. So everything that comes to us is a blessing from the divine, meant for our spiritual evolution. If we can be thankful for what comes to us, then we open ourselves so that evolutionary process can proceed, one, much more quickly, and two, without very much internal resistance, and therefore without suffering or pain from ourselves. So this deep gratitude that is personified by the uniquely American holiday of Thanksgiving is a very good time to practice that. On Thanksgiving morning and Thanksgiving evening, I would like to suggest that you just give everything to God, thank God for everything, even to review your life, life's episodes, the people in your life, the things in your life, and just be thankful for absolutely everything that has happened to you and that has been given to you, and also be thankful for that which has been taken away from you, because that is done as an expression of divine love to free you, and ultimately to free you in the most important way from the confines of ego and egoic consciousness. So, happy Thanksgiving. I'm thankful that we have this beautiful, beautiful family together in God. God bless you.
Well, right now, Jyotish and I are at our ashram in Gurgaon, India, which is outside of Delhi. And we've been in India now for about 2 months, and it's been a wonderful time. You know, there's a saying that you may have heard, I cried because I had no shoes until I saw a man who had no feet. And being in India, this thought is driven home every single day of your life that you live here, because there's so much suffering, there's so much hardship. I was saying to Jyotish recently, one of the reasons it's hard to be in India is every day you see people struggling and exhausted and old before their time, simply trying to eke out a subsistence living. And it's hard to see the fatigue and suffering and hopelessness on their faces. But at the same time, being in India, there's an undercurrent, and it's interesting, it's so much a part of the culture of the unreality of this world, of that we each have a role to play, but we are not really the outward roles that we perform. And so there is that reassuring thought that people seem to accept life, death, rebirth, the hope for a better life afterwards. But it's really drives home to you the point, let's say you're going for a walk and you have a little pain in your knee, and then you see someone crawling on the sidewalk because their body is twisted and deformed, and you just think, how can I ever complain about anything? How can I, and you see little children just literally living on the streets with nothing, and you just think, how can I ever think I don't have enough? And it's a very eye-opening experience to see all that here in India, and probably in most third world countries, it's true. And so just to take a moment during this Thanksgiving season, these days, to just think of all the abundance in your life, the people that you know, the people that love you, the people that you have loved, the opportunities you have had in your life, the abundance with which you are surrounded. But most importantly, the greatest thing we have to be grateful for is the presence of God and Guru in our life, because with that we can experience absolute contentment, absolute sense of satisfaction and fulfillment and joy, whether we're sick or well, whether we're poor or rich. We realize that behind all of these poles of duality, the true reality is the presence of God's joy, of Guru's grace in our lives. So above all this Thanksgiving, we urge you to take the time to look to the giver behind all gifts, not only the gifts they have given us, but the source from which they came, and that's God's love for every single one of us. Sometimes that love comes in forms that we try to push away because it's not what we wanted or expected in life. But as Jyotish was saying, if we can see that everything that comes is a blessing, and the greatest blessing of all is to be under the protection, guidance, and the grace of a great Guru like Paramahansa Yogananda. We wish you a very happy Thanksgiving.